Very good evening. Welcome to the State of Business on our television. I'm Sachin Ratnayaka. Let's look at the headlines first. Sri Lanka will reach the target of carbon neutrality by 2050, President tells at a World Summit. Bandaranaike International Airport initiates actions for a paperless future. News in detail. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa assures that the overuse of the artificial fertilizer will be restricted and the target on carbon neutrality will be achieved by 2050. President Rajapaksa gave this assurance addressing the COP26 meeting, or rather known as the 26th United Nations Climate Change Dialogue, which brings parties together to accelerate actions towards the goals of the Paris Agreement and the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change.
As a developing tropical island nation, Sri Lanka is one of the most climate vulnerable countries in the world. Our rich philosophical heritage, shaped by the teachings of Lord Buddha, has instilled in us the importance of balancing ecological concerns with human needs. Internationally, Sri Lanka is proud to be a co-lead of the Energy Compact for No New Coal Power. Sri Lanka also leads the Action Group on Mangrove Ecosystems and Livelihoods under the Commonwealth Blue Charter Initiative. Additionally, the Colombo Declaration on Sustainable Nitrogen Management seeks to have nitrogen waste by 2030. We have ensured that Sri Lanka's domestic policy framework has a focus on sustainability. To give effect to this, we are taking steps to limit overuse of artificial fertilizers, thereby addressing health concerns as well as helping reduce nitrogen waste. Our nationally determined contributions targets achieving carbon neutrality by 2050.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa asserts that Sri Lanka will also be eyeing the target of using 70% renewable energy by end of 2030. Around 120 heads of state will physically meet at the Scottish Event Campus in the city of Glasgow, Scotland, from next Sunday to the 12th of next month.
On the energy side, we aim to increase the contribution of renewable energy sources to 70% of national energy needs by 2030. We are also working towards enhancing national forest cover. To achieve these laudable objectives, Sri Lanka welcomes assistance through technology transfers, skills development, investment, and financing support for our sustainable development agenda. We reiterate that developed nations must fulfill their commitments to help the planet heal. Developing countries need meaningful, multilateral, and bilateral support to implement climate change mitigation and adaptation activities. This will create new opportunities for green growth that enhances future prosperity. The time to act is now.
Bandaranaike International Airport yesterday started an online health declaration where passengers can fill in the data, submit the information to the airport before arrival. Bandaranaike International Airport officials say that the details could also be saved in a QR code provided by the system, and what the passenger should do is just submitting it at the health counter at the airport. State-run Airport and Aviation Services Limited in a statement said that the prime objective of introducing this system is to reduce the usage of physical form filling and encourage the passengers to opt into an online platform, reducing the physical contact and passenger processing time. Airport and Aviation Services Limited said This will also give them information about the passengers before they arrive while reducing the queuing time. Passengers have been facilitated to download or access the form and fill it on the airport's website. They must also attach related documents such as the vaccination card on the first dose and the second dose and a COVID-19 test report done within 72 hours prior to departure. The system can be accessed via the following link on Airport and Aviation Services Limited website www.airport.lk. After the submission, the passengers will get an email with a QR code which they will have to produce at the health declaration counter at the airport. Stay tuned for more news. We'll be right back after a small commercial break.
ෆයිබර් සමගින් බලකැන්වෙන තැන ඉස්සර වගේ නෙවෙයි දැන්. ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ප්‍රථම වේගවත්ම සහ පුළුල්ම ප්‍රීමියම් ෆයිබර් අන්තර්ජාලය SLT මොබිටෙල් ෆයිබර්. දේශීය ෆයිබර් බලවේගය.
Welcome back to the State of Business. Government yesterday asserted that the initial decision of not to allow the Chinese ship carrying a consignment of unsuitable organic fertilizer to enter to the Colombo port will not affect the bilateral relationship between China and Sri Lanka. Co-cabinet spokesman Dr. Ramesh Patirana said that the matter of the ship with the unsuitable organic fertilizer should be handled separately.
Foreign policy-wise, we are friends of all, enemies of none. We are a non-aligned country, so there is no shift in relation to the relationship between Sri Lanka and China. Historically, we have remained very good friends and we have a very strong relationship. But it doesn't mean that we have to import something of lower quality, substandard product to Sri Lanka because of that friendship. So that's why we have categorically stated the fact that we have found out the fertilizer that were to be imported to the country were of low quality. That's why the government has rejected that. We can very clearly explain our position to Chinese government. Building hospitals wouldn't be the answer to this health crisis. You know, a significant number of people, especially from north central province of the country, have suffered due to this kidney disease, which was of unknown origin. So parallelly, we have to provide treatment centers for the people, those who are affected by kidney diseases and also those who suffer because of carcinoma and other conditions. But prevention is better than cure, as you correctly know. So we are taking necessary measures to prevent the spread of the disease. In relation to that, the limitation of chemical fertilizer and agrochemicals is a vital move. That's why His Excellency the President has taken that initiative to ensure that we prevent the disease rather than treating them.
Launched to Germany, a virtual soft landing competition to facilitate the entry of Sri Lankan startups to Germany was held during the Asia-Berlin Summit 2021 in Berlin recently. The event provided an ideal pitch bed with the focus of finding, recognizing and connecting the future shapers of the digital age among Sri Lankan tech startups. The Embassy Day of Asia-Berlin Summit 2021, themed towards a startup-friendly nation, was organized by the Embassy of Sri Lanka in Germany, together with the Information and Communication Technology Agency of Sri Lanka and Hatch. This soft landing initiative is a launch pad for ambitious startups to showcase their products and solutions and elevate their profile in diverse markets across Europe. The selected participants will get the opportunity to test the strength and viability of international startup ecosystem partnerships and gain access to industry, investor and market linkages, along with mentorship from sector experts and scale-up operations to reach an international market. Ambassador Manoriu Nambuwa, commenting on the program, stated that 34 applications had so far received and will contribute to the overall goal of $3 billion export revenue from the technology sector of Sri Lanka. The Embassy Day of the Asia-Berlin Summit also included the Digital Nomad Ambassador Program and the Social Entrepreneurship Conclave in promoting Sri Lanka's vision of strengthening the startup ecosystem. Government yesterday announced that considering it as a responsibility, Sri Lanka will facilitate the prospectus investors to visit Sri Lanka and collect information on the investment opportunities. Plantations Minister and Co-Cabinet Spokesman Dr. Ramesh Patrana said this, answering to a question by a journalist at yesterday's weekly Cabinet media briefing.
ඉන්දියාවේ අදානි ව්‍යාපාර සමූහයේ සභාපති ගෞතම අදානි ලංකාවේ සංචාරය කළා. අපි දැක්කා ඔහුගේ පවුලේ සමාජිකයන් සමග මන්නාරමත් සංචාරය කරලා තිබ්බා. එතකොට ඔහු ජනාධිපතිතුමාව හම්බෙලා තියෙනවද? ද හින්දු පුවත්පත වාර්තා කරනවා වගේ මේ ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ බටහිර පාගන්තය ගැන කතා කරන්නද? සාකච්ඡා කරලා තියෙනවද? සහ මේ සංචාරයේ ඇත්තටම බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා දැනගන්න කැමතියි.
මේ සංචාරය පෞද්ගලික සංචාරයක් හැටියට තමයි වාර්තා වෙන්නේ. එම සංචාරය තුළදී ලංකාවේ තිබෙන ආයෝජන අවස්ථා පිළිබඳව අදාළ සමාගම කරුණු විමසන බව අපිට වාර්තා වෙලා තිබෙනවා. එහිදී දැනටමත් ඔබ දන්නා පරිදි බටහිර ජටි ඉදිකිරීම සඳහා ඔවුන්ගේ කැමැත්ත පළ වෙලා තිබෙනවා. ඒ නිසා ඔවුන් මේ පිළිබඳව විමර්ශනය කිරීම ඇතුළු කරුණු ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ආයෝජන අවස්ථාව සඳහා ඇති අවස්ථාවන් විනිශ්චය කිරීමට ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට පැමිණියා වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ සම්බන්ධ නිල ප්‍රකාශයක් දැනට නිකුත් වෙලා නැහැ. කෙසේ වුවත් ශ්‍රී ලංකාව තුළ ආයෝජකින්ට හිතකර පරිසරයක් ඇති කිරීමට කටයුතු කිරීම රජයේ වගකීමක්. ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට විදේශ ආයෝජන අත්‍යවශ්‍යයි. අප මුහුණ දෙන ඩොලර් හිගයට පිළියමක් හැටියටත් රටේ සංවර්ධනය වෙනුත් ඒ ආයෝජන රටට කැඳවා ගැනීම විශේෂ කාරණයක්. ශ්‍රී ලංකාව දැනට පවතින තත්ත්වයන් යටතේ ලෝකයේ රටවල් රාශියක් සමග සැසඳීමේදී ආයෝජකයින් අඩු වෙන රටක්. ඒ තත්ත්වය හොඳ තත්ත්වයට පරිවර්තනය කරගෙන මේ රටට ආයෝජකයින් කැඳවා ගන්නට අවශ්‍ය වුන්ට අවශ්‍ය පසුතලයේ පහසුකම් නිර්මාණය කිරීමත් රජයක වගකීමක් හැටියට අපි සලකනවා.
Stay tuned for stock updates. We'll be right back after a small commercial break.
SLT Mobitel Home Broadband වෙතින් online learning සහ online working සඳහා ඇදහිය නොහැකි data දීමනා GB 30ක් රුපියල් 195යි GB 100ක් රුපියල් 490යි කාර්යාලයක් පාසලක් ගෙදරටම ගෙනෙන ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ප්‍රමුඛතම ඉන්ටර්නෙට් සබඳතාවය SLT Mobitel එකම එක සබැදියාව.
Welcome back to the State of Business. Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The All Share Price Index gained 19.86 points to close at 10,146.90 and the S&P SL20 gained 36.00 points to close at 3,695.73. The turnover was 5.0 billion rupees and over 194 million shares were traded. Coming up next with foreign exchange rates. With that, we wind up today's news. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Until then, take care. Good night.